If you've ever found yourself over-explaining, spiraling in nuance, or feeling like you lose the room when trying to share something brilliant, today is for you. You don't need to think less. You need better filters for how you communicate your thinking. This session is about turning your complex, high-level thinking into clear, concise, and strategic communication, the kind that lands in rooms full of decision makers. Grab a pen and paper. I'm going to guide you through a few real-time thinking exercises that will help you see your strategic brilliance more clearly and communicate it more effectively. And yes, I know pen and paper sounds old school, but that's where you get the embodied cognition and the lasting results. So trust me on that. This is about you gaining insight while we're together, not just taking notes. So let's go. Let's talk about why so many brilliant minds struggle to land the message. Fast processing means your brain stacks layers of meaning quickly, layer on layer on layer, but you might lose your audience in the swirl. You know that confused look people get when you talk? Yeah, me too. Depth is a gift, but it can dilute clarity if it's not curated. Here's the kicker. Smart thoughts are not the same as strategic messaging. Strategic messaging means your idea hits the right note with the right audience at the right time. And yes, as a singer, I'm kind of into singing the right notes. Let's do this. Write down one moment where you lost your audience in a meeting, a pitch, or an update. What were you trying to convey? Let it be messy. This one's for you, not for anyone else. Now, let's talk about how to frame your brilliance so it's felt. Here's what executives consistently look for. They look for clarity, alignment, and relevance. They're filtering for, does this matter? Is it moving the business forward? Do I need to act on this? That's why being smart isn't enough. You need to be strategic. Let me introduce the executive optics triangle: brevity, impact, and authority. Brevity, can you say it quickly and clearly? Impact, does it move the business needle? Authority, do you sound like you know what you're doing? Take what you wrote before now. How could you have reframed it in one sentence with high impact? Try combining brevity, impact, and authority in a single line. Do that now. Now, here's your toolkit. 3 filters that will change how you communicate complex ideas. Filter 1 is so what? What's the outcome? What changes because of this information? Filter 2 is for whom? Who's the audience and what lens are they using to hear you? And filter 3, now what? What's the next step or action you're suggesting? Pick a current project or idea, run it through the 3 filters. So what? For whom? Now what? Write down a new version of how you'd present it at the executive level. This becomes your new baseline for executive level communication. You just built a thinking filter system, not to dumb yourself down, because, we're kind of over that, right? But to elevate how you communicate your brilliance. When you pair intelligence with strategy, you create leadership level messaging. You now have the tools to show up clearer, faster, and more aligned with executive expectations. If one of those filters gave you an aha moment, send me a DM and tell me which one. I'd love to hear what shifted for you. That insight might just be your biggest unlock this quarter. And I have an ask. If you know someone who tends to over-explain or feel misunderstood in high-level conversations, please, for their sake, send them this training. It's built exactly for that, helping brilliant people communicate in a way that lands. And if you want to develop these communication filters, define your executive edge, and work on your long-term strategy, I'd love to invite you to a clarity call. We'll talk about your goals and whether working together is the right next step in your leadership growth. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day.